Trans-Siberian Railroad. Have you ever thought of going aboard? Perhaps you want to visit the Great Wall of China. Maybe you want to visit Egypt's pyramids. Or maybe you have given some thought of a ride on the impressive Trans-Siberian Railroad. This is the longest rail in the world. Actually, this historic railroad was built more than 100 years ago. Would you believe it actually takes about a week or 7 days to travel from Moscow, Russia, to Vladivostok, Russia? Now, that's a very long time to be on a train for travel. You'll have the opportunity to enjoy good meals in the dining car. If you prefer, you can talk to fascinating people. At bedtime, or if you're tired, you can use the sleeper car. If you're an adventurous person, consider taking the train through Mongolia and China.
Awesome. Very nicely read and without any real difficulty. However, when you first started, I didn't really know what this word is that you said, but because it was here, I know that it is have. Have, have, have.
Have you ever thought about? Have you?
Very good. Have you ever thought of going abroad? Remember, Bernard, when we are using the punctuation question marks, you want to raise your voice a little when you're asking, have you ever thought of going abroad? That lets me know that you're asking a question.
Okay, have you ever thought of going abroad?
Very good. Have you ever thought of going abroad? Now, I'd like for you to look at these words and pronounce all of the words that are in blue. Just say them as quickly as you can, but say them clearly. Abroad, impressive, historic, rail, dining car, fascinating, sleeper car. Right?
Aboard, impressive, rail, historic, dining car, fascinating people, sleeper car.
Let's look at the word rail, rail,
Rail,
rail,
rail,
impressive,
impressive,
and historic, historic,
historic,
historic,
historic,
fascinating,
fascinating,
sleeper car,
sleeper car,
dining car.
dining car.
Good. Now, again, say all of the words in blue.
Aboard,
Abroad, abroad.
abroad, impressive, rail, historic, dining car, fascinating, sleeper car.
Very good. Now, I'm going to give you the controls in just a moment, and I want you to just use the words in blue and talk to me about either this article or something else. I want you to click the words as you use them.
Okay.
It will be something like this. Yesterday, I attended a fascinating play. It was about a train that actually had a dining car and a sleeper car. What was most impressive to me was that it traveled many miles on the rails. I'm not sure where it was going, but I knew it must be abroad and perhaps someplace that is considered historic. Okay? All right, I'm going to remove my markings. I'm going to give you the controls. I'm going to ask you to do what you just saw me do. You may begin when you're ready.
Okay. I like to travel on the historic railroad train, the Trans-Siberian Railroad. With this train, I'll be happy to go aboard, and perhaps in China, if I could. This train is the longest rail train in the world, and it's fascinating to imagine the life in this luxurious dining car, and after the dining car and a good alcohol or cafe, you could go to your sleeper car and sleep during all the night with a comfortable in a comfortable wagon.
Okay. Comfortable and impressive.
Impressive.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Now, let's talk about your last vacation. Your last vacation, you went on vacation.
Yes.
I want you to try to use the vocabulary words and tell me about your vacation. For example, my wife and I recently visited blah, blah, blah. We didn't sleep in a dining car, and we didn't travel by train or rail, but my vacation was impressive. We saw fascinating buildings, things of this nature. Please click the words as you use them. You may start when you're ready.
Okay. Recently, with my wife and my grandson, we visited Australia. We went aboard in this great country. It was an impressive travel because of the scenery, because of the big buildings, because of the climate, because of the friendly of the people. But we didn't use the rail because you rent a car, and we visited by ourselves. So we had in some restaurant. We don't have a dining car because it wasn't comfortable. But it was a sleeper car because we can sleep every day in the car, my grandson upstairs and us downstairs. It was a fascinating travel, and there's not a lot of historic story in this country because it's a new country with a big future.
Awesome. Very nicely done. I will now take my controls back, and now let's take a look at the dialogue. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you. Good.
All right, so we will continue. I will read as student 1, if you will read as student 2.
Okay.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
What are you doing?
Can you guess where I want to go?
That's the sound of a train. Those are sound effects, right?
Correct. And the train is none other than the Trans-Siberian Railroad. For me, this is the coolest thing I've ever done.
Interesting. I'm actually a little taken aback. I've only been on the Amtrak, but you're thinking more aboard, I suppose.
Think about something as historic and as far-reaching as the Trans-Siberian Railroad. You know, this railroad goes west to east. In fact, it goes all the way to China. Do you know that this means you can go on a train in the middle of Europe and end in the middle of mainland China? Imagine Just that trip alone seems wonderful.
Yes, it does sound fascinating. I mean, with it being the longest rail in the whole world. If a person is literally riding the whole scene, this will be a very long trip.
Whole thing. Whole thing.
Whole thing, whole thing.
This sounds really impressive. Not to mention the awesome experience of being on a train. There is an opportunity to visit the dining car, make preparation for sleep in the sleeper car. Oh, don't forget, you will also get to drink tea on the train. Are there questions about the dialogue?
Yes, I'm actually a little taken aback.
Okay. When we use the phrase, I'm a little taken aback, here, it simply means like, when I think about something that I do or something that I'm accustomed to. I'm accustomed to riding the Amtrak train, so I'm not sure about this Siberian sleeper. But let me take a moment and get even a better explanation of taken aback so that we can use it appropriately. Hopefully you can still see the screen because I'm going off screen to look up the word taken aback if I can. And it doesn't seem that I can. So what I want to do is stop the recording. I don't want it to be too long. And then I'll come back and we'll continue talking about it. All right?
Okay, okay, okay.
So thank you, Bernard.